B2B companies need to understand the difference between extrinsic selling and intrinsic selling. Very simply, extrinsic selling is you show what you've done for other companies and you expect them to make a leap of faith that you can do it for them. Intrinsic selling, which is far more powerful, is when you engage a client or a prospect in a conversation about their problems, their opportunities, and you demonstrate for them that you can add value. There's no leap of faith required. B2B firms never know when their target audiences are going to have an interest in engaging them. So they need to accomplish two goals. First, they need to do things that will drive top-of-mind awareness that puts them on the short list of candidates that gets called in for consideration for an assignment or for a relationship. And then secondly, they need to be positioned as a safe choice. There's career risk involved in any decision-making regarding selection of an outside advisor or an outside firm. If you're not positioned as a safe choice, there's no point in being on the short list. Most corporate websites have a section for press releases and media pickup. And typically that content just sits there, like hunting trophies. But the sad truth is that it rarely gets noticed by target audiences, and it does nothing to drive lead generation in a meaningful way. Effective media placement's based primarily on three factors. First and foremost, you need to know how reporters think. You need to understand their world, their pressures, their deadlines, what topics they're likely to have interest in. Secondly, you need to package the content and present it to them in a way that they're likely to use it. And then thirdly, you need to be persistent without being a pest. You need to be aggressive without being overly aggressive or damaging a relationship of you and your client. And then lastly, the fourth factor is a bogey, which is dumb luck, because there are factors, even if you do all the first three right, that are beyond your control. If a PR firm tells you that they can get publicity for you because they know a reporter, you should escort them out the door. No journalist will write a story based on a relationship. You need to give them quality content and a topic that's worthy of their consideration. That's how you generate publicity. Companies are wrestling with the whole issue of social media, whether it makes sense or will have any benefit to have a Facebook page or a Twitter account. And there's a couple things they need to keep in mind. First of all, your website is your mothership of your brand. You've got to make sure it's everything it can be. Because if social media is designed to drive traffic there, make sure there's a payoff for them. Make sure that it doesn't hurt you. Secondly, ensure that the social media tactic that you use is appropriate for what you're trying to do. For example, if you're trying to influence CFOs of major companies, I'm doubtful that they're sitting around tweeting all day. And thirdly, you need to be prepared to make a long-term commitment to social media. For example, if you have a blog, you've got to invest in the editorial resources to produce high-quality content on a consistent basis. If your last blog post is 6 months old, what does that say about your brand? And lastly, you can't look at social media as isolated tactics. It's got to be part of an integrated communication strategy, or don't do it at all.